The Horned King. Once there was a king who had horns on his head. However, no one knew about this. The king never revealed himself without his crown. He would immediately behead the barbers who cut his hair to ensure they wouldn't spread the news of his shame. One day, it was the turn of a poor barber. Knowing that no one had ever survived after cutting the king's hair, he bid farewell to his loved ones and prepared for death. As he started to cut the king's hair, he discovered the horns. The barber was surprised but kept his composure, saying nothing. The king admired the barber's behavior, decided not to kill him, and said, "If you ever utter a word about what you've seen, I'll cut off your head instantly," and let him go. The barber returned home, surrounded by curious people, asking how he had survived. Fearful, he remained silent, swelling with the desire to reveal the king's secret. Unable to contain himself any longer, he went to a swamp, took a reed, looked around to make sure no one was watching, and exclaimed, "Our king has horns!" As soon as he shouted, relief washed over him, and he recovered. It happened so that a passing traveler cut the reed, turned it into a flute, and played a tune, and the flute sang, "Our king has horns! Our king has horns!" The news spread, and people everywhere learned of the king's shame. They laughed, and the flute continued its melody, "Our king has horns!" The king, realizing that everyone was talking out of his horns, grew furious. He summoned the barber. "Did you tell everyone about my horns?" No, replied the barber. "I never said a word." "Why does everyone play a flute proclaiming my horns then?" demanded the king. "Very well," said the barber. "Summon the flute player, take the flute from him, and blow into it yourself. You will see whether I spoke the truth or not." The king ordered the flute to be brought. He took it, blew it into it, and the flute sang out to the entire honest crowd, "Our king has horns!" The king was angered, but he couldn't execute the barber for revealing the truth that he himself had unintentionally disclosed. And so, the clever barber saved himself. The Rabbit Reader read for you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and dream.